Do you guys want to get better footage while you're mountain biking, while you're just doing some action adventure? Regardless if you have a newer GoPro, an older GoPro, or an action cam, then this video is for you. What's going on, guys? My name is Chris. I'm back with you with another unboxing and review video. This one's going to be for the FeiyuTech WG2X wearable 3-axis gimbal for your action cam, sports cam. I'm going to be using it with a GoPro 8, which I have right here. And if it's compatible with the GoPro 8, it's probably compatible with Hero GoPro 9. It's compatible with all of the other ones, 7, 6, 5, 4. And if you have an older one that doesn't have the stabilization inside it like the 8 or 9, then you're probably gonna definitely wanna get your hands on this. We will be showing you some test footage of with it and without it to compare it. This just arrived in time. We have a sweet mountain biking trip. Before we do get it out of the box, just like all my unboxing and review videos, guys, in the description right below the video, you're gonna find the link for this exact, for the WG2X gimbal. You guys can read more about it, pick one up yourself after the video is done. You guys in the UK, if they do sell it in the UK, I will have you linked as well. If not, one very similar to it. Those links, again, are gonna be in the description box below. Let's get it out and see what we have. All right, let's get the trusty butterfly knife out and give this a go. Inside the good old box, we're gonna have what looks to be a styrofoam case and a couple manuals there and some FAQ action there. We have a little brochure with your quick start guide, etc. I definitely recommend don't skip over this. Definitely read the directions and get this thing dialed in before you go mountain biking. You don't want to be on the trail and having to figure all this out as you're trying to enjoy a nice ride. So yeah, we have a nice little styrofoam case. So you can go ahead and put that back in there for transportation. Opening that up is going to be our 3-axis gimbal right here. Let's go ahead and take this guy out first. And this looks like it is our holder. And inside this little box is going to be our mini tripod. And this is really sweet for being able to set it up if you're not going to be using it as a wearable one. Okay, let's take out our gimbal here. And this is just kind of a little box right here, kind of featuring what a GoPro would look like. Go ahead and slip that out. I'm pretty sure inside is going to be our charging cable, because this is battery powered. This is a USB to micro USB charging cable right here, probably your 2-footer. You got a couple screws. You have a tripod mount threaded right there. And you also have your GoPro type of an accessory attachment here. And here is the gimbal. This, of course, would be axis number 1, axis number 2, axis number 3 down here. You have your on and off and mode button here, your shutter button over there to the left, and your Wi-Fi and mode button to the right. Over here on this side is going to be a Wi-Fi indicator light right there next to my thumb. And this right here is going to be your micro USB charging port, which just flaps out and up, and there you go right there. So definitely charge this before you do give it a go for the first time. And you have a mode indicator light right here. On the bottom, you do have pads if you want to use this in another form. Right there, if that's going on top of a tripod, you do have a threading screw right here, a 1/4 inch threading screw that's the same as your normal tripods, and of course your back plate here. And these just hand tighten down right here, nice and tight. And I definitely recommend tightening those down as much as possible so that if you are running down the mountain, you're not going to get any sound interference with that clunking on your GoPro. As it just goes around the back side here, and remember you do have little pads behind this here to protect your GoPro. And then this just goes right in between the LCD screen and the lens here, not blocking your microphones. This one is protruding out just a little bit, so we'll be getting some test footage of that, of course. And looking at the GoPro once again out of the case, again, the 8, that's the microphone we were just looking at. It is blocking the mode button, but again, set this up, set it and forget it for your ride. Of course, you can use your GoPro app for certain settings. And here are those soft pads on the interior portion to protect your GoPro. And this is nice and soft over here on this side as well, to prevent scratching on your GoPro. I'm not exactly sure what this attachment is for quite yet. It could be with a different action cam. It seems to not really fit the GoPro. That could be for the other models, the older ones. All right, let's charge it. All right, guys, we're gonna take a look at the gimbal here. Now here we are, we're just gonna set up this next shot. We're gonna get some sick downhill in just a second here. But notice the rider in front of me here, the riders, less of my handlebars, All right, if you pull too far ahead, I'll slow down for the next contestant. We're gonna kick down the wind velocity here. We're gonna kick down the audio here. But as you can hear in that last clip, great for vlogging. Notice as I'm taking the turns, the rider in front of me is in full view, so is the trail the entire time. Such a sick shot. This is something we're gonna definitely look at compared to the GoPro 8 without the gimbal. We're gonna get to that in just a little bit here. Let's enjoy this downhill. But again, notice how the rider is in full frame the whole entire time. Less of my handlebars, less of my bike and my shocks, and all rider in front of me. So sick as I'm taking the corners. It's literally kind of honing in on him and the trail as we're bombing down the mountain here. Nice turns. Notice that he's always in frame with the sky. I really like this compared to the GoPro without the gimbal. Let's check out this.
Turn here. Wow. Flowy.
Here we are. We're going to go down some more jumps. Notice how he's going to be in full frame again, hitting the jumps, slightly out of frame there because he takes a high line.
Oh boy.
But
oh boy.
Notice, right, I literally went over a large rock there.
I'm still
Let's
on.
just enjoy this here. We have the volume kicked down, obviously, but all the microphones are in full force, being able to hear everything. Notice how I'm just going over these hits, obviously not jumping as high as he is.
Nice, good hit.
But super clean. Charging uphill. A little bit of the bars, but not much. And again, I was on my toes the whole time. I think I was, now I'm back up on my toes, or I might be on the seat. But overall, very impressive compared to without the gimbal. We're going to see in just a little bit.
Super clean. Wow. Good hits. Good hits.
All right, now we're looking at the GoPro without the gimbal system. And first thing you're going to notice is the rider in front of me, which is my brother. He gets cut off in a lot of the shots. That's the biggest key feature. The stability is very nice as well without the gimbal. I'm very impressed with what GoPro is doing. But notice how there's going to be more shocks, more front wheel, and the turns he especially gets cut off, even though he's right in front of me. Now, for a lot of footage that I've seen on YouTube, I like the gimbal footage better. As, see, he just kind of takes a turn and see how it's like more down there. He's out of the frame completely as we kind of come around here. Now, some of these shots, it looks just fine, but I noticed it hugely on the corners and especially the smooth transitions on the berms. Here, we're going to catch up to my brother here. And same thing, everyone's faces get cut off, more of my front shock, nobody's face there, going uphill, coming down, and notice, see, right there, gets completely cut off. So for smoother footage, I definitely like the gimbal system better, not to mention just being able to get the rider in front of me, especially if you're chasing someone. I just think it's clean footage. He's completely off there and having to catch back up with him. All right, guys, let me show you my setup. And I actually am wearing it on a chest mount here that goes all the way around my back. This is just a generic one. GoPro sells one like this as well. We'll give you kind of some close-up shots of how I built it up with my different attachments. So the footage we just saw, mountain biking, that is the exact same setup. I think I have it on follow me mode. I turned it on, and I think I hit it one time or two times. Don't quote me on that one, but see, as I'm moving this way on my bike, it kind of follows there. I go up and it keeps that angle, and I go down and it keeps that. That's how I was able to actually get our buddy riding in front of me just beautifully as I did my turns. It kind of held the angle a little bit. So mess around with the different modes here. So as you can see, again, axis 1, 2, and 3 up here. Now, the button for the GoPro is right here. Obviously, with the GoPro 8 and 9, you can speak to it to start recording. But I actually had it right here. Now, the mode button is blocked over here, or you can switch it around and have the shutter button for the GoPro for video mode on the bottom as well. But right now, the way I have it set up, the button is right on top right here. But it gets a little bit getting used to. You definitely have this gimbal sticking out, I'd say a solid 5 inches or so. It took a little getting used to because I'm not used to the gimbal. I'm just used to the GoPro on my chest mount. So it adds a little bit of weight to it. But once I started riding, I started getting a little bit more comfortable. Just make sure your straps are nice and tight. So this is nice and snug, so you're not getting too much bounce. But even if you're getting a lot of bounce, the gimbal is going to do the job for you. We, of course, saw that in the mountain bike footage. But what I really like about the gimbal system, instead of just the GoPro, is the follow me, where it got the angles where just the GoPro with the image stabilization inside the GoPro 8 and 9, it just, when I was up on my handlebars, you see only dirt and kind of a downward, where using the gimbal, you're actually seeing the rider in front of you or the trail in front of you. So I think that is a huge positive aspect with this gimbal system with the newer GoPros with image stabilization. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at my build and take a look at it a little bit closer. All right, so let's take a look at the build. Of course, this is the complete gimbal system there. Down below, I have my provided thread knob and my thread that we saw earlier in the video. This is my little hook here for my GoPro that came with it, and my GoPro attachment here. And I actually have the one that looks like this. Now this is back the entire way here. It would be cool if it was back just a little bit more. As you can see there, there's a little bit more room for the back side. You could play around with your GoPro attachments, but I found this system build was probably the best with the chest mount as well. Again, took about 5 minutes getting used to it, the first 5 minutes of the ride. After that, a little bit more added weight up front, but I got used to the feeling pretty quickly. As you can see the gimbal working here, back and forth. Now overall, if you are a mountain bike vlogger and need excellent footage, I would highly recommend this gimbal for your 8s and 9s. If you have an older one, absolutely. I give it a thumbs up for the older GoPros. For the newer ones, like I said, if you're trying to take your footage to the next level, smoothness, capturing the trail and the rider in front of you, definitely a go. So something I do want to show you, the first time I did use it, this threw me for a loop, and I want to go ahead and talk you through this real quickly here. So let's go ahead and look at the back of it here. Now when I first turned it on, it would turn on and then turn off after a few seconds, and I thought it was a dead battery. But what the gimbal was trying to do was balance it. So if it's not balanced, as you can see here, so you go ahead and unscrew this, go ahead and loosen that up, and you need to slide your bar so that the gimbal is balanced properly. If it's not balanced properly with the GoPro, it will turn off automatically because it's just not balanced. So as you can see here, it's not quite centered, but it's a little bit off of center, and that gave me the stabilization and the balancing to be able to turn on the gimbal and have it work properly. Again, that threw me for a loop, so definitely dial it in before you head out for your first time. Dial it in at your house. That will save you some troubleshooting before you get to the trailhead. Now you're wondering how long it lasts for on a full charge, 2.5 hours. Typically we only ride for about an hour or so, so plenty of juice left in the tank. For your long rides, you might want to bring a power bank if you're doing some long ride. But again, 2.5 hours full charge, 1500 milliamp lithium ion battery inside of this. The weight is 238 grams. In the description box below, guys, is going to be this exact same gimbal. You guys can read more about it, pick one up yourself, but please, like all my videos, guys, please don't go into debt for anything I do make a video about. But if you have the cash and intrigues, you go ahead and purchase on away. That link will once again be below. Thumbs that video up if it has helped you make an informed decision. Subscribe on your way out. We'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care for now. Bye-bye. Let the party stop, guys. Hit one of these videos, continue to watch, and we'll see you soon.